You ever meet someone who find fault with everything? I mean everything, everything, to a point where sometimes you don't want to do because you know they're going to find something wrong with it. Well, this is part of the case. Know this: you are beautiful and wonderfully made. God created you. Thank y'all for tuning in. You're now tuning in my podcast. I'm SF Johnnie, Seriously Focused Johnnie. You are tuned in to Difficult People Chronicles. Welcome. Today's episode is called The Message. They trying to check everything about you. Everything. So, this person is in a relationship, and I feel like they're having times where they're thinking about leaving this situation if they haven't already left. One of the problems is that their significant other was checking everything about them. They were checking how they do things, how they dress, what they meant to say, their bank account, their job, their attitude, their family. If they have kids, they trying to check their kids. Like they're saying, well, your kids act like this because like they gotta answer for everything about that other person's life. Like their life is perfect, and they're not. They're narcissists. They're narcissists. They find fault with everything. Like they came out of the womb completely perfect. Never cried under pain. Never did anything wrong. Never committed a sin. Never been through heartbreak. Never made a mistake. Don't have family members that's out of pocket. Never said anything out of pocket. They act like they were perfect. And they act like people in their family was perfect. That's how they act. Like they just grew up with a gold spoon in their mouth. Never had to struggle. Never had difficulty taking tests or doing anything. Never had a pimple or a scratch. They act like their whole life was perfect. And they critique a lot of people. And what just came to me is this is one of the reasons why they don't have no friends. They don't have no friends. They had good people around them, but they tried to check everybody. And now the person is sick of them. So if you that person, you're sick of them. Because they trying to check everything. I feel like they crossed the line when they started talking about your family. Because there was some things that was probably said in your family that was valid about this person. And it wasn't said behind their back to be malicious. It was said right in their face for them to work on themselves. But then they took it and went behind that other person's back and started checking everything about them. And the person that went to them and said whatever knows that they're not perfect, but they was just saying something because this person, they find fault with everything. Nothing's perfect with them. It could be a minor situation like if a person is making a turkey, and let's say you got to baste the turkey every 20 minutes, and let's say it's 30 minutes, and you baste the turkey at 30 minutes instead of 20 minutes. They find fault with that. And they will sit there and say the turkey don't taste good when it tastes delicious. That's the type of person they are. Find fault with everything. I remember someone that was like that. I don't know if this person is still like that, because I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't hang around her anymore. Find fault with everything. Act like she grew up with a gold spoon in her mouth when she didn't. And we had different views on different things. But then I realized that she act like her mother. Her mother act the same way. Critique everything. Her mother will even talk about her friends indirectly to their face when her life wasn't perfect. So, back to what I was saying, this person who wants to check everybody refuse to work on themselves, and they're about to get a rude awakening, because then they're going to realize that nobody wants to be around them. Nobody. Nobody. There's a lot of people in this world that they've created circles based off of their toxic behavior, and people only cling to them because there's a benefit that they want. But once that benefit is no longer available, these people will walk away. And they don't really like that person anyway. They just around them for the benefit. This person is like that. There's people around this toxic person because there's a benefit. But the party being abused, if you're the person always getting checked, you just about had enough of all of them. Meaning their family, their friends, all of them. After a while, people gonna walk away because they don't like them. They don't like the person at all. They don't like nothing about the person. Not how they speak to people, not how they walk, not how they talk. Yeah, everything about them irks people. But they've been dealing with it for a long time. And this person is going to turn around and realize that nobody likes them. That's sometimes when people start to crash mentally. Because when a person does not seek God and they are in their loneliness, that's when they start to self-destruct. That's when they start to question themselves. So for who this is for, don't be surprised if this person comes back to you and says, what was wrong with me? It's times of self-destruction, times of that crash moment, times of chaos, times of burdens, times of the storm that people go through when they stop and say, what did I do? Or I need to be at peace like that person. Or why does my life feel like fire? And they need to see the craziness they did to other people. Because, at the time when they were being told, they were busy being a checker and not checking themselves. Busy being a checker and not pointing a finger to themselves. Like, what did I do to this situation? What was my involvement? So, that's it for today. Check me out on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the notification. Love me more and I love you more. And also remember, you are beautiful and wonderfully made, regardless of what that checker says about you.